Hey, everybody, this is Doug Nelson with Precision Neuromuscular Therapy, and really home after a long day of seeing a ton of people, and which was great. A really fulfilling day with lots of. This was a day when there are quite a few successes, and my days sometimes are filled with lots of struggles because I see people with really difficult problems, and every day is some part. Ooh, we've made some progress. Things are good. Oh, we need to tweak this. Things are not all that great. How can we kind of drive the bus differently to create different results? That's actually real life in the clinic. And on my way home, I had a conversation with one of my teaching staff, and that's what really inspired me to record this video. It made me think back many years ago when I started, I want to say this organization, but in the beginning it was just me. And then what was that vision? And that vision was to create something that wasn't really about me, but was about the work. And in many ways, that's really come to fruition. I have some amazing people on my teaching staff, and I'm enormously proud of them. And again, that vision in those days and still now is that the work is not about me personally, and maybe that's what differentiates us from other seminar series that are about a specific person, a personality, a kind of whatever that is. For me, that's really not it. It's about the work itself. It's our collective, as a team, how we continue to evolve and develop and change the work based on our kind of collective experience. And that I find incredibly enriching as someone who loves to learn. Okay, yes, so maybe it's really selfish. I'm just surrounding myself with people who love to learn and who then I get to learn from. And boy, has that been true. A couple of weeks ago, Sarah Lashley in Chicago just did a wonderful training on TMJD stuff. And, I remember when she was in my seminar many years ago and just starting to explore this thing, and it just took off for her and ignited this passion. And she is just what she knows about this. Every time I'm around her and we have conversations, I feel like I learn so much from Sarah, and she ignites that both in everybody who participates in her seminar, but in me as well, which is awesome. A few days ago, I reviewed again James Avaska's presentation in the PNMT portal on the first ray. Man, I've looked at that thing. That was the second full time I've actually gone over parts of it multiple times. I feel like I learn something every time I look at it, stuff that I did not know. So thank you, James, for diving deep into that and pulling it out. And, every time Beth and I get together, and I'm always impressed with the many, many years of her physical therapy practice that she brings, that deep, wealth of knowledge of all those years practicing PT and now applying it to precision neuromuscular therapy. It's just so inspiring. A couple months ago, I was with Julie Nichols. We did a level 2 at her clinic, and with her amazing staff and some other people who came in to do that. Just watching Julie execute the work, build it on top, make it her own. And I know the feedback that I get from seminars where Julie has taught, people are just knocked out by just the authenticity and her mastery of the work. It's just incredible. And, Seth Will, oh my goodness, how many years has he been part of my staff? And what Seth knows about neural issues, I will never know, honestly. Every time we got to co-teach together a little earlier this year, and I learned so much from Seth. It was so much fun. And I think those people who study with us, the ones who've really gotten the most out of the work are people who've taken a seminar with multiple instructors. It's like PNMT is this really big house, and each instructor is a different window into that world. And so you see it through their lens, through their eyes, and that way you construct this whole this full prism of understanding of the depth and complexity of the work. And again, because every one of these people has an incredible, clinical practice. They're in the clinic, day after day after day for year after year after year, developing, learning, really living the work. And they bring all of that into the seminar situation. And again, Seth's experience is going to be different than Julie's, than James, than Beth's, than Sarah's, than my own. Once you pull all that together, you get just many, many years, God, of clinical experience, but also just understanding things in different ways. And I think students who have come to us with, kind of exposure to multiple instructors have really benefited from that the most. So one, a shout out to all of my teaching staff. Thank you so much for inspiring me and helping me also to learn. And for all of us, just building a learning community where we learn together. In seminars, oftentimes, I'll have someone ask me, well, what about this work as applied to, and then whatever novel situation? It's like, you know what? If you're asking that question, you may have more experience in that area than I do. And you may be able to apply the principles of what we're teaching in ways that I have never thought of. So bring that experience back to me. All the participants who come to our seminars often, it's a funny thing. People know that our seminars are not where you just show up to get a continuing education credit. It's a lot more difficult than that. And so the people who are drawn to us are really, really good therapists. And so they bring all that experience with them. So the quality of the questions they ask, their ability to think out of the box and then want to apply these principles in those situations, those are learning opportunities for us all. So it isn't like, in a seminar situation where myself or one of my teaching staff is imparting that wisdom into other people. It's really a shared experience. Like we're sharing our experience and guiding you through this. But every person sitting in that room is also a story, is also a therapist who has their own, contribution to this thing. And we're all learning from each other. And that's my hope over time, is to create a true, real learning community where we're sharing ideas, learning from each other, and that way it's richer and deeper than any of us could have ever imagined. And there are so many people who really need the work out there and too few people to do it. So again, God bless you, all of the people who are working hard to be better at this work every day. And a day like today, at the end of the day, a really long day and a really long week, it inspires me to keep going and give my best as well, because you deserve nothing less. And so do our clients. Thank you all.